Thoughts of peace and blessings to the family of Jayland Walker, who was recently killed by the police in Akron, Ohio. Jayland Walker can no longer walk on land. He was only 25 years old. And while the facts of the case are not that well known, preliminary evidence shows and proves that there was at least 60 shots fired at him, many of them hitting him in his face and body last week during a high-speed chase. And the sad part of it is that the young brother died under something as simple as a traffic stop. Now, this is not to, justify a person's actions and inactions, because causes produces effects. I was not there, so I don't know the circumstances. But what I do know is that he was shot at least 60 times, which is ridiculous. But at the same time, cops use 40 caliber guns, 9 millimeters. These guns shoot so fast, you could pull the trigger, and in the heat of the moment, the young boys have to understand the reality of the time we live in. If you reportedly discharge your gun, like if you shoot at a cop and you got a ski mask on and it's nighttime and you're running in the car doing a high-speed chase, these police will kill you. I'm speaking from personal and familiar experience. Meaning that I personally had the cops shoot at me before. And I personally have a cousin that's doing life without parole right now. My cousin Salam, Darnell X. Sanders. The cops unjustly shot him in his neck. And I was in Holmesburg back in 1983, over 30 years ago, and he almost died. His bullet wound was infected in his neck. They wouldn't give him proper medical care, and we had to do some gangster stuff to make sure that he get to the hospital to get his antibiotics and make sure to save my cousin's life. We made it happen instead of waiting for things to happen. But at the same time, I want you to understand that if you're a black man in your 20s and you got a face mask on and you got a gun in a car, reportedly, because police will plant guns in your car. How do I know? The police, when I was only 12 years old, they beat my shins and robbed me. The police robbed me for some Kentucky Fried Chicken. So you got dirty cops out there. But at the same time, most cops just trying to do their job, pay their bills, take care of their families, like any other person in the capitalist system. So I'm not just blankly saying I'm hating on cops. I'm trying to be fair in this thing. But the reality is, we have to avoid certain circumstances because we give these devils justification to pull the motherfucking triggers, and that's dangerous. So if you're 25 years old in a car at night with a gun and a ski mask on, they look at it like, oh, you trying to do something negative. So they on you, And the bad thing about it is if they got you on video discharging your weapon at them, even though you jump out the car and leave a gun behind, you ain't trying to shoot the cops. You trying to get away. But these untrained officers, their emotions is running high. It's like a slaying of passion. That adrenaline flowing. They ain't thinking about you don't have a gun. They look at it like black man on the run. It's like you having pit bulls chasing after a rabbit. Or chasing after your homie playing around. When that dog adrenaline is kicking in and he's angry, he's trained for killing. So when you be like, all right, stop, cool out, all right, that's enough. He ain't trying to hear that at that moment. He gonna keep moving. He gonna keep biting. He gonna keep attacking. He gonna stay on the kill mode. So these jokers, like 8 of them, 8 police officers in Akron, Ohio, they pulled their guns out and they dumped on the young boy. Shot like 90 rounds or something, but they hit him. They shot him 60 times, shot him all in the face and everything, which is ridiculous. Now, I'm confident that his family is going to get some type of out-of-court settlement. But at the same time, it's sad that mother and that family have to suffer the grievance of seeing that beloved one dead physically. And the Holy Quran teaches us in Surah 4 or chapter 4, ayat or verse number 92, basically, anyone who kills a person by mistake, they should help free a prisoner of war, meaning that if a cop do some nonsense like that, what they need to do is not free a slave, because slavery is physically illegal in this day and time, but they can still help free some of the convicted people that's in prison that are actually and factually innocent, get them out of jail, as well as pay what the Holy Quran calls blood with, meaning lawsuit money. Now, I mean, you're supposed to pay that family off. Now, I mean, let the lawyer come in and settle and come to some negotiable terms and conditions that the family agree upon and that the police or the state agree upon. Now, I mean, but it is not for a believer to slay another believer unless by mistake, according to the Quran. And he or she who has slain a believer by mistake, their atonement is to set free from bondage a believing person, or set at liberty a captive believer, and to pay blood money to their heirs, unless they forego it by way of charity. Now, if the family don't want the money, maybe the family rich already. Who knows? Know what I mean? But it's not that you can pay for somebody to come back from the dead, because our lesson teaches us the physical dead is never known to return from the grave. That brother is dead forever. Know what I mean? His family is blessed with the memory of him forever. He's not going to just be gone, because he's going to live through them forever. He's going to live through the atoms of the universe forever. He's going to live in our hearts. Know what I mean? So we have to be mindful that in this day and time in which we live, this is the war Armageddon. Know what I mean? And we have to avoid these situations where these police keep having to pull their guns on these young boys. It's just ridiculous. Even the old heads, even girls in this day, even grandmothers get shot in wheelchairs. Handicapped people get shot. It's just getting ridiculous. Know what I mean? So we have to understand that, know what I mean, to be balanced in all this. Know what I mean? You have cops that's trying to do their job, but at the same time, if we give them probable cause, where if we're speeding, they like, okay, we got him. He's speeding. He's on video speeding in the car. We got him. Okay, he discharged his gun. That puts them in kill mode. When you shoot at them, they thinking in that mind, they trying to do an 8-hour shift, go back to their family and children, whatever. Know what I mean? And they going to do whatever they got to do to make sure they get home safe and sound. They don't care about the training. Or their thing is that their comrades, that other officers around, they're not going to wait for you to shoot a cop and then shoot you. If they think they have what they call probable cause, reasonable intelligence, say, oh, he already shot a gun out the car at us, so he's trying to shoot and kill us. That's the purpose of a bullet. That thing going to be like, all right, let us take all precaution. Know what I mean? And that means that if you got 8 cops at you and they all got 40 cals or 9mm, they got 21 rounds, 20 shots, know what I mean, one in the chamber, and they discharging that kind of stuff, it's easy to get shot 60 times in the wilderness of North America. The struggle continues. Peace and blessings, family. Let us pray for our beloved brother and give our family their condolences of the Walker family. Peace and blessings. Jayland Walker can't walk on land. The struggle continues.